Let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Whoa, thanks. That's nice of you. My husband looks relieved to see me in a good mood. Help me with this.
What are they?
I've been too busy with CEO. I haven't been able to take care of my things. I'm glad you come to me. Thank you. I handed him the divorce papers. Of course, I had already signed them.
Wait a minute, you didn't mention it to me before.
Right, I just did.
Why?
Put your dirty hand over your rotten heart and think hard about it, you hypocrite. My name is Angela. My husband Peter and I have been married for 18 years. We have a 16-year-old son and a 14-year-old daughter. After graduating from college, I joined Peter's grandfather's company, where I still work. I'm told that my father-in-law, Tom, and Peter had joined the company to take over in the future. I think our marriage is a happy one. My kids are growing up with good hearts. We're living with Peter's family, and it was going well until something happened. My grandfather-in-law, John, fell and broke his leg one day. He was over 90 years old and was still working and running his company. After his accident, the true nature of the family came to light. John was a very strict man. When I first joined this family, he used to get angry at me a lot. He harshly criticized my conduct.
Don't put your elbow on the table while eating. Wait until you're done chewing to sip a drink. Turn your phone off. Don't create unnecessary noise.
When we went out to eat, his eagle eyes got sharper.
Take your coat off once you're in a restaurant. Give it to the hostess and never bring it to the table.
I received a lot of lectures like these. It seemed that the family was fed up with him. Whenever he disappeared, they talked about him behind his back as a grumpy, bigoted old man. I didn't think he was a bigot. On the contrary, I thought that his teachings were all for my benefit. He didn't explain himself, but just made clear statements, which I thought had valid meanings. To put an eyeball on the table was indeed an impolite act. All the other things he had pointed out to me were also proper mannerisms. I thought he was teaching me to prevent myself from embarrassment. It seemed to me that the point he made at the restaurant was also a sign of consideration for those who were already enjoying their meals. My kids, who had been thoroughly educated by him, had naturally absorbed these lessons. Although they were still in their teens, their manners were outstanding. Moreover, he had never once yelled at them. Even when they were still small and forgot the teachings of the nobility, he never got angry with them. He gradually introduced them to various etiquettes. The reason he was so strict with me was that I was inconsiderate of an adult in my 20s. Such a solid man had lost his freedom due to a broken leg. The whole family was assigned to take care of him on rotation. Since then, my parents-in-law, brother-in-law, and even Peter started complaining.
"Oh, it wasn't supposed to be like this."
My mother-in-law, Gwen, moaned when she came back from John's room.
"What's wrong?" "Everything's wrong. I don't know why I have to be troubled by his broken leg. It's exhausting, isn't it? I wish he would just drop dead."
I was absolutely stunned by her comment. She had always been so cheerful that I couldn't believe the abrupt change in her demeanor.
"Have you heard about a Jamaican voodoo lady in the neighborhood?"
Yes.
"Maybe I should go visit her."
"For?"
"Oh, I'm just kidding. But please let me joke around, at least. I'm giving up my precious time to look after him."
A joke? Wishing that on someone? It was a vile one. What was surprise to me was that Peter joined in with her. Seeing him not remonstrating but laughing with her, I felt disgusted.
Hon, stop saying things like that.
I demanded he correct his behavior when I was alone with him that night.
What are you talking about?
He was genuinely puzzled.
I'm talking about John.
Did I say something wrong?
You and Gwen were laughing about him.
Oh, yes, the voodoo lady. That's funny, isn't it?
Not at all. It's rather repulsive.
Why? It's just a joke. Besides, if my mom can relieve her stress by joking around, there's nothing wrong with it.
He didn't care no matter how much I argued.
Don't talk about it in front of the kids then.
It's not that big of a deal, is it?
I don't like it when people joke about death.
He's your grandfather. He's done so much for you. It's sad to hear you talk like that.
He's just a bigoted old man.
That was not true. John taught us a lot of things for our sake. It was meaningless to keep arguing with Peter, though. Anyway, don't do it in front of the kids.
Alright. You're starting to sound like him now.
Fortunately, Gwen and Tom didn't complain about John in front of the kids. A few days later, believe it or not, Gwen took Peter and his brother with her to the voodoo lady. The three of them came home exultantly.
I feel so refreshed. I knew I'd feel differently if I'd ask for help.
Me too. It would be funny if he really dropped that. Did you guys see all the knickknacks in the room?
They were having an appalling conversation and sounded completely ignorant of the fact. Regardless of how they felt, the voodoo lady wasn't actually a Jamaican. Her grandparents migrated from Fiji, and she was the third-generation American. Moreover, she practiced spiritual healing rather than black magic at her home. I wasn't sure how they believed she was a Jamaican voodoo lady, but I hoped she sent some healing energy to John. The three idiots in front of me, though, were completely oblivious to it. After about a month of looking after John, Gwen started saying odd things.
Listen, guys, John's going mad. He just ate a dinner, but he's asking for food again. He was like, "Where's my dinner?" And he keeps talking about the same thing and asking the same question over and over again.
I doubted her story. He seemed as usual and never showed a hint of such behavior when I was with him. However, Tom and other male members of the family joined in.
Actually, I don't think he even knows who I am. He asked me who I was the other day.
Peter and his brother followed.
You too? Actually, he asked us the same thing. Maybe he's losing his mind.
No way, I don't think so. I knew it. You know what they said about old people, that when they get injured, they get weaker. We need to have a family meeting about this.
2 weeks after that, Tom gathered everyone except John in the living room to make an announcement.
I'm going to report to you what has been decided in the family meeting.
I was stunned by this statement, and then I felt a void inside. I was not a part of the family meeting. That meant I was not family. I looked at Peter, who was nonchalant. Well, it meant that he didn't think of me as a family member either. Tom was not concerned about my feelings and proceeded with his announcement.
My father isn't well. He's lost his mind. You see, what you may call it? Oh, dementia. So, we've decided to move out.
Yes, right. I guess we have no choice.
I was totally at a loss. What the hell were they talking about?
So, Angela, we leave John in your hands.
What do you mean?
We have to protect his company. Don't you understand?
I felt like I was kicked in the stomach. I thought that our marriage had been good and that we'd had strengthened our bond over the years, but it was all in my head. It was no surprise that I was uninvited to the family meeting. I was not accepted in this family, even after all these years.
What are you talking about, Dad? Mom got a job too. And what do you mean you're leaving? I don't get it.
Me either. What's with the family meeting? Mom didn't even know about it.
My kids raised their voices. Peter was flustered by their accusations.
Listen, your mother married into this family. That's why she's not a true family member. What are you saying to my kids?
Please don't trample on their tender feelings.
I'm just telling the truth.
I understood. That's enough. Please leave. I'll look after John.
If that's the case, you should have just agreed from the beginning.
John was a strict man, but I had been indebted to him. I had great respect for him, regardless of the numerous scolding. He must have done a lot for his family, even more than he did for me. And yet, when his health began to deteriorate, they easily abandoned him. I didn't want such heartless people to take care of him anyway. I was sure that he was going to need more than simple assistance, but nursing care in the future. Even so, I couldn't entrust him to such self-serving people. What would they do to him?
Well, we'll move to the other house, so you take care of John, okay?
The mover came the next day, and they left the house. The only ones who stayed back with me were my kids. They told me they would help too. Thank you, but it's going to be hard from now on.
Don't worry, I love my great-grandpa.
Yeah, me too.
I see. Yeah, me too. I love him too. Let's all work together to make it better. Well, he's a little scary though.
What do you mean?
The three of us jumped up in surprise. John, how's your leg?
It's already healed.
3 months after the shocking turn of events, I was on my way with John to see his escaped family. When Gwen greeted us at the door, her mouth was agape.
Is my son here?
Oh, yes.
Let me speak to him.
John strolled into the living room.
Oh my God! You can walk? What nonsense! Dad, do you know who I am?
Tom smirked.
I recall you're the chief sales officer who can't get the job done. What the hell? You're my idiot son. You two are my moronic grandsons. And, you gold digger wife. Dad, oh my God. You guys left me in the hands of Angela. Dementia? That's ridiculous. I know exactly what you guys are now.
In fact, John's mind was as sharp as usual. Although he needed assistance after the injury, once he recovered, he was capable of looking after himself. While he was bedridden, he realized that his family was bothered by him, so he put on the show.
Do you know why I haven't given you guys the company? You don't have the capacity. If I entrusted it to you, it would fall apart in no time. But, Peter, I am grateful to you. You brought in someone who is suitable for my position. She's smart, can get things done efficiently, and above all, she possesses excellent character with a good heart. I have decided to name Angela as the next CEO. Dad, wait a minute. I'm supposed to take the title, right? Huh? I don't remember saying that. You don't understand anything. Why haven't I retired until now? Why haven't I already given it to you or your sons? It's simply because none of you has the capacity to run the company.
John, please calm down for a moment. The reason we moved here was to protect the company. If we had time to take care of you, we thought we better oversee the business. That's why Angela and we split up. She was in charge of your care, and we were in charge of monitoring your company.
John laughed dynamically.
Not even going to the office and leaving all the work to the employees, but only taking a salary. Is that what you called overseeing the company? You and I had very different ways of thinking, don't we? I can't give up my position to such people.
The three men took advantage of John's absence. They threw everything into the hands of the employees and just took the money to enjoy life. Of course, the employees told John about this.
Don't worry, I'm not going to fire you guys. I'm going to let Angela run the company, but she won't do that either. I'm only going to ask you to step down from your positions and start over from the bottom.
His family opposed the idea vehemently, but he was determined. 3 days later, I succeeded in his will and became CEO. All the employees, except from my in-laws, approved of me and were all very motivated. Peter, who was stripped of this position, came to kiss my butt. I wasn't sure what he thought, but he showed up at the house alone with a large suitcase. When I came home, he was hanging around outside. "Hey, what are you doing here?"
Oh, thank God, I couldn't get in.
"Of course not, I changed the locks."
Why?
"Well, you know. Anyway, are you going on a trip or something?"
No, I thought you'd be busy, so I came back.
"I see. I am. Super busy. It's rewarding though."
Well, let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
"Oh, thank you. That's nice of you." He looked relieved to see me in a good mood. I unlocked the front door and went inside. He tried to follow me, but I shut the door in his face.
Watch it.
When I stepped outside again, he looked at me with his eyes wide open. "You can help me with this?"
What are they?
"I've been too busy being the CEO. I haven't been able to take care of my things. I'm glad you came to me. Thank you." I handed him the divorce papers which I had already signed.
Wait a minute, you never mentioned a divorce to me.
"Right, I just did."
Why?
"Put your dirty hand over your rotten heart and think hard about it, you hypocrite." He was dripping with sweat, and his hands were shaking as he held the divorce papers. "When John needed care, you ran away, leaving me behind. Do you think I want to spend the rest of my life with someone like that? Are you crazy? I decided to divorce you at the moment you left me. Of course, the kids agree with me. In fact, they even said it would be good riddance. This is the final decision of the family meeting."
Family meeting? I'm family too.
"What's that, really? But you can't be. I wasn't invited to your family meeting, but you are my family. It doesn't make sense."
That's what my mom says, so it's what it is, right?
"Well, the kids, John and I were all unanimous. You are not a part of our family. The majority is in favor. Wait, this is what was passed only by the yes. It's a shame. Anyway, send me the divorce papers when you're done. From now on, I'm your CEO and you're just my employee. Good luck." The divorce took a little over a year due to his reluctance, but we managed to get it done in the end. At the same time as the divorce was finalized, Peter and my ex-in-laws resigned from the company. I assumed their pride was shredded. How did they endure for a year? The company environment is healthier now. What I realized after they're gone is that they really didn't do their jobs. Nothing has changed except for a better work environment. I can see why John wasn't able to retire for this long. A year has passed, and I live with my kids and John. He is as energetic as ever and does everything by himself. Whenever I get stuck at work, he is always there to help me out. As for what happened to my ex-family-in-law, they happily opened a deli together just to fail in that too. Since then, I don't know where they went, but there haven't been any sightings of them in my town anymore. I guess things don't work out because they don't think through. On the other hand, I continue to maintain the company I inherited from John. My life is brighter now.